Oh, poor Mr. Bertoli. You know, he had a seizure in our class, and we made him cry, and I almost quit.
Oh man.
I really liked him. There were some fixes for him.
Yeah, he's really cool. He really likes science. I liked him a lot. But we had a student that glued all the locks shut in all the drawers with a glue gun, and then they put like baking soda and vinegar in a bottle and put it in a drawer and glued it shut, and then it blew up in the middle of his class, and the police came. It was a whole mess.
Nice.
Poor Mr. Patel.
One time in class, in physics, he had he has a bowling ball in his room, and he tied it to the ceiling, and he let us ride it like Miley Cyrus is the wrecking ball.
Dude, Ryan, me and Frankie went to the same high school.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
We're talking about a small town, like 6,000 people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We still had 2 McDonald's, though, I think,
right? Have you ever been to New York?
6,000 people. I'm surprised you didn't have 4
Never.
McDonald's.
Literally every block is a McDonald's in the middle of the city. It was like there's a McDonald's with a piano above the doorway.
No kidding.
What the hell?
I've always wanted it. Big cities kind of made me nervous, but yeah, Frankie, that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually grew up in Autrain. Then I moved down to Gaylord, then Traverse City, then Kingsford. Now I'm here in Marquette.
That's so wild. I mean, I've only met one other Youper in the wild, so right on.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but this combat is fucking making me sweat, man.
These witches, how are they so strong? Night hags. I never used a night hag before, so I don't know their stats.
Out of metagaming knowledge, may I say what level the spell that was cast on me was, Ryan?
Level 6.
He told us.
Level 6.
He told us.
Yeah. So, what level of spellcaster is level 6?
I told you guys this was gonna be a difficult combat, and probably the most difficult one you'll face for a while.
Oh, they are
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm playing Witcher again.
You're doing all right.
Oh, what I would give for that background music right now in the back of my head.
There's a lot of music I would like to use, but because I stream, I can't use any of that license shit, you know?
Right.
I was, because on my Tuesday night sessions, since we're not streaming yet, when we're practicing, being in character and stuff, the DM for that game doesn't ever have any music going, so I'll usually go on YouTube and put something on, so I have something in the background, and I've found like a really awesome track list the other day that was all music from like Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate and stuff, and when you're playing the game, you don't really hear it the same way as when you're just listening to the music, and it's like, wow, this stuff is fucking amazing. But we're back now, so game face is on because Morgantha's about to get weird. If they weren't
in me.
Oh, so you're saying when you're gonna have to ask the Mardikovs for new pants when you get back to Vallaki?
It's been a long time since I felt the touch of a woman.
Suddenly she casts cantrip jerk off. And you are stunned for 1 round.
Yeah. That is an at-will ability of the Hag Sisters, for sure.
And that's on stream, so what's up?
It's legit then, it happened.
So, Morgantha, one of her eyes is still this black orb. And she begins to, you see it kind of, her good eye is still there staring at you, Hemdriel, and the rest of you see the other eye kind of, you can see the glare kind of moving and looking between the rest of you, and it falls and lands on you, Veen, right beside her. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 15 wisdom saving throw.
Praying to Jesus.
So you begin to feel this bubbling in your gut, and you, just like Nice Snow a few moments ago, feel like you're about to retch, and basically explode out of both ends. You are now sickened. You have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, but at the end of each of your turns, you can make a new Wisdom save to see if the effects are released from you.
Okay.
You're kind of lucky these aren't all killing us, because if these are killing spells, we'd be screwed.
And Veen, you're up.
Okay. So, alright, I'm going to use the potions that Rimpak has as an example. If I knew he had the potions, what sort of actions would it take for me to go to his bag, rifle through his bag, grab the potions, and consume one?
An action.
One action to do all of that?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, what would happen if I went to Nice Nose bag, rifled through his bag, got the pastry, and jammed it down one of their throats?
An action.
Okay, I'm going to do that to the mother. So
Okay.
I rifle through Nice Nose bag and jam it down the mother's throat.
Good DM manipulation there, Veen.
Yeah, she's using the easy example.
Hey,
trying to combat example.
I'm all for creative solutions to problems. I will always hear you out. You know.
Wait, so what's happening again?
So,
He's stealing my potion?
He's stealing your
I'm
food.
going to your pack. I am rifling through for the tainted pastries that Nuru stupidly ate. And then I'm grabbing that pastry and jamming it down the mother's throat.
There are two.
And as I say that, I say, remember this shit.
I need to read
there are two pastries in there, so yeah.
So she's kind of got these kind of yellowed and blackened rows of gnarled teeth, and she's got one of her eyes on you, Veen. I would say it would still be an attack roll to hit her with the pastry, essentially, to get it in her mouth,
That would make
so
sense.
it'll be an attack roll with disadvantage, essentially.
Stay on target.
It's no bigger than a womp rat.
You can roll your weapon. You can roll your weapon attack for it, though. You can just roll your weapon attack.
If a womp rat can fit, so can this.
Oh, that's gotta hit.
So you grab the pastry out of Nice Nose pack, and you put one of your hands in her mouth, and you just pull down the lower portion of her jaw and slam this pastry down her throat. She will make a DC 15 Charisma saving throw. Oops, sorry. She begins to chew it when you let go of her mouth, and in a big gulp she swallows, and she says, "Delicious."
So you just shove things down these women's mouths, right? This witch's mouth?
And nothing happens. She doesn't go into a dream state.
Okay.
Shit.
I would consider the pastry a magical effect.
It's a magical effect.
It's a magical effect.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, they make them, so.
It's like regular food to these witches, then, yeah?
No, I just thought about it. She's like, thank you for the treats, boy. Oh, no, don't feed.
Oh, no.
Do you have anything else, Veen?
Nah, can't do anything.
It was a good try, and I will give you an inspiration if you don't have one.
Yay, everyone has inspiration now. Fucking use them!
Wait, so how does inspiration work again? Is it like an advantage?
It's
Advantage
you
on
can
everything.
you can spend it to roll advantage, or you can spend it to re-roll an attack or an ability check before I tell you the results of the roll.
You gotta say you want to use it before you use it.
Or you can roll and then say, "Wait, can I try again?" before I say anything. If you think it's like not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
That's a good rule. I like that.
Naru's going to
I'm gonna
dart
steal
out.
that, by the way.
Sure.
He's going to dart out behind Rimpak and stab at Bella. With his... And I'm going to re-roll.
Okay, you're gonna use your
Use my
inspiration.
inspiration.
All right, well done.
Nope.
Yep. You
Use
just
my
kind of
inspiration.
slash through her billowing robes, and you do not make contact with Bella. But she is
Is
kind
He will
Bella's-
disengage.
she is kind of facing you, you know, with her claws bared as you had just tried to kind of move around her, you know.
He would disengage and go back behind Rimpak and his shield.
Okay.
I don't really know
Like,
how
just
that happens, but
Well, maybe it gives them a disadvantage. You know, it's all about.
Yeah, half cover.
I was gonna
guess?
give a bonus to armor class. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna give a +2 AC essentially. Yeah.
all right. So Naru's AC is currently 20.
Bella, though, kind of extends her fingers out, and more crackling bolts of electricity begin to move between her palms.
Oh, we are
And then she
fucked.
throws both of her hands out, and just like a fucking Jedi or like a fucking Sith Lord, like sparkling, crackling energy begins to.
Unlimited power.
So make a
Half of this is gonna knock
Dex-
us both on it.
I don't think it matters. It's going to kill the both. I'm like 2 and 6 health.
Yeah, just
um,
you're both down. You're both.
Guaranteed.
they have to
I'll
use.
do
You're
that.
well. It's in a straight line, so it's just at Nuru. It's not at you, Rimpak. I mean, I'll say you'll take partial damage because you announced that you were kind of trying to cover. So,
Well,
like,
I have 6 hit points.
Nuru's getting a bonus from your AC, so I say you'll take some damage too.
Okay.
So you'll take half
Holy
of four.
shit.
You'll
Some damage.
You'll take half of 41, Nuru. And Rimpak, you know,
You're both down.
your shield explodes and
No.
you fall unconscious as well. Yes.
Oh man, we got knocked on our ass.
Yeah, so I like to envision
Should've gone
Rimpak
green.
getting hit and then falling on Naru behind.
Yeah. Yep. The energy kind of jostles you both into unconsciousness. You
This
know,
is why you don't stack
there's-
up against casters.
And energy's kind of, or not energy, but the smoke's kind of rising off of both of their bodies as they fall to the ground. Rimpak,
I
why
thought she
don't
might
you,
be out of light.
why don't you? Well, she had to use a 5th level spell slot. She was out of her spell slots for the level that they would normally be cast at.
See, that's good news, everybody. She lost a 5th level spell slot. So
Rimpak,
basically a win.
make a death save for me.
I also have a question. Did my pastry attack count as an attack?
I would.
Yeah,
Would that be?
Oh,
I would say.
Ooh.
I mean, I would say yes.
Okay,
Ye-
then my spirit bros would be on the boss, the mum.
Okay,
Ophelia.
sure.
Cram your spirits down her throat.
She'll probably like it though. These women are masochists.
She'll just inhale your spirits and eat them, and then be like, "Thank you," and you're like, "No, my spirit, it's being devoured."
Rimpak, you
Definitely failed my
you
saving throw.
begin to see a golden meadow, and you're one step closer to meeting your god.
I like to think
You got your second
I
character.
can feel the grain.
yeah.
Like I feel the grain.
Yeah,
on my
like
fingertips.
totally like 300. Yeah, for sure.
I see my friends in the distance.
But as you
Just saying,
do,
you have inspiration.
as you do,
you can spend those
A
on death
light.
saves. You can spend those on death saves.
That's right.
But you know you've got 2 more to go, so.
so here's
Just a
here's
roll of 1.
so here's a fun little thing for you. As you see that, you also see a bright shining angel with golden wings flying towards you and touches you as Nice Snow casts Healing Light.
Is that the multiple die one?
How many die do you spend?
46.
Nice. Roll that shit. 19. Rimpak, you know, you open your eyes and you can see the gnarled toes of the sister still standing, and then the open eyes of the dead one beside her. And and you smell that that wafting scent of demon ichor fill your nostrils again as you wake up and regain 19 health.
And And for anyone else that was looking, what that looked like was Nice Snow woke up, and then she's looking over to Rimpak and staring at his symbol, and she's reaching out for it. And as that happens, a golden light pulls out of her arm and tendrils across the floor and grabs onto it, and it pulsates from his holy symbol.
Nice.
All right. Nice to know your character is very interesting.
Morgantha, with her claws, tries to just rake them down the front of your face, Veen. Uh, 16 to hit.
Miss.
All right. And you're up.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, is Nero down too?
Yes. Nuru is still down.
Guys, I know I'm doing my turn. Just checking. Very good.
So, because Bitchy Magoo hit me, I hit Bitchy Magoo. Glaive!
Oh, I just realized.
I would like to re-roll that with my inspiration.
All right. An 18 is a hit.
Nice.
And damage, and then pulse back. Miss.
Good thing your Google Chrome is slow.
And what is the save at my end of turn? Is it wisdom?
Wisdom, DC 15.
Disadvantage or normal?
Just normal. She will make a con save as well. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You're good. You feel the...
Well, make the con save, because the first one hits and maybe the second one wasn't at disadvantage.
She's good.
Yeah, I am freed of the curse
you don't feel like you're going to void your bowels at any moment anymore, at least.
Excellent.
Nuru,
Yes.
make a death save for me.
Cast dysentery on you.
Oh.
Is that a bestow curse
That's
or
the boss.
disease?
It's
That's a save.
It's a sickened, and it's a part of the eye bite spell.
I forgot to add 4 hit points to Naru's thing. It doesn't change anything that happened in the game,
Mhm.
but like his maximum did go up by 4. Forgot
Okay,
to do
sure,
that.
that's okay. I'm going to make a check for the hag to see how much she cares about getting revenge on her sister.
Oh dear.
That's an idea.
Vengeance for Darth Broomhilda!
Veen, you've been hit, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
You should be able to see
Nice.
my
No,
health.
have you been hit?
She doesn't
I
care that
have-
much.
I haven't been hit at all. Like I've
Yeah,
been
you've been
spelled.
sleeping most of the time.
I've been spelled, but I haven't suffered any damage.
Yeah, you got
Um,
dizzy.
The
All
reason
right.
why he's conscious.
But
I
Bella does look down at Nuru unconscious on the floor and spits on Naru's body, and then turns and begins to cackle. And more crackling energy as she raises her hands above her head form between her palms, and she
Another lightning bolt?
flashes out with her hands, and a stroke of electrical current strikes out through Veen and Hemdriel for her final 5th level spell slot.
Sure. So, dex save, right?
Yeah, Dex,
yeah.
lightning's Dex save, yeah.
I have advantage on it.
Nice. No. I like how that works.
So you take 15 damage, Hemdriel.
19, you said?
15,
Ooh.
and you take 30, Veen.
Mm.
Wait, but what about the spirit guardian? Or does that only people not being?
I haven't attacked that creature, so it's irrelevant.
And
Now I'm not doing okay.
Rimpak, you are up.
All right, I am going to cast a spell to help us out. I think it is going to be Prayer of Healing.
That's a 10-minute cast. I knew what you were going for. It's a 10-minute cast.
It is a 10-minute cast, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Mass Healing Word is the immediate version of Prayer of Healing.
So, can you click on that spell for me there, Rimpak?
Prayer of Healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Just click on it.
Yeah.
Can you click on like the text of it?
Yeah. Hold on. It's making me try to. Hold on.
Yeah, it always wants to roll the roll because it's a roll.
Hold on. I'll just copy the description. Hold on. That'll be the. That's the description on it. I can't. I click on it. It just wants me to fucking hit the.
So
hit the-
here's the thing that I dislike about clerics is, you know, they put a lot of emphasis in 5th edition on not having to necessarily fill the traditional roles in a party. And I agree with that. I think people should play what they want and not try to fill a role. But on the other end of that, I think that they've still kind of... A cleric should have more of a repertoire when it comes to aiding their allies with healing magic. So I will say that Prayer of Healing will just be an action. It won't be a 10-minute cast.
That's. I mean, that makes it far more functional. A 10-minute heal. I mean, what does that even do?
You might as well take a short rest. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So, 2d8 healing is what it's going to be.
Well, 15. Everybody within range, up to 6 creatures, heal for 15 HP.
Including myself, right?
Yep.
And we're ready to roll, folks.
What's that magic look like there, Rimpak?
I grab my holy symbol, and with both fists, and I say, "Begone, thought." No, I'm just kidding. And I say, I just concentrate and I whisper into my holy symbol. You guys can't hear what I'm saying.
We can.
And then light radiates out, and everybody feels the lifting force of 15 hit points of healing.
Nice.
Nuru is alive.
Hemdriel, you're up.
Oh, it's my turn again?
Yep.
Wow. That came around fast. Okay. So after Hemdriel dodged the most of that electrical shock blunt, she's back up on her feet. She is going to look at that same hag, and she's going to be like, my turn. And she's going to Eldritch Blast at that, but I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
I've
Ooh.
You got her.
Got him. Okay, I will never do that ever again. Oh, here we go. 5 force damage.
And that was at the
Minimum damage.
the mother, right, Morgantha?
No, that was at the one that shot
sis-
lightning.
The
bolt.
sister? Oh, okay, I gotcha.
I thought Ophelia was the mother. Who's Morgantha? I have Ophelia and Bella.
Morgana. Look at the one that has the more unique token. That is Morgana.
Is there 4 or 3?
There's
There's
3.
3.
Yeah, there's 3.
The 2 daughters are the blue ones, and the like whitish one is the mother.
All right, my notes.
The mother's the one
way
that
off.
came from upstairs.
I have 4 on my notes somehow. I have Penella, Granelda.
It was Bella and
Ophelia.
Ophelia, yes.
Bella and Ophelia, and then
She liked
Morgantha.
Ophelia.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Morgan.
just checking. I was gonna make sure.
Morgantha, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what their hit points are for if we ever meet these night hags again. I have a better idea. Trying to, by the way.
Got anything else?
Going so well.
Got anything else, Hemdriel?
That was my action, and my bonus action. She felt that feeling come out of her arm, and with her other arm, she aims it at Veen, and she will empty out the rest of her healing light into Veen.
Okay. And just so I'll just ask now, I guess, because we're getting pretty close to the typical ending time. If you guys want to, we can finish out the bone grinder. We can finish out this combat and finish out the aftermath. If everybody's if everybody can hang out for it.
I'm
good
good for it.
for it.
Cool.
So you heal up 5 health points, Veen.
Yeah, got it.
Morgantha's black eye continues to scan around the room.
Does she still have that? She lost concentration.
Did she get hit?
She made her con save.
I didn't hit her.
She made her con
No,
save.
she didn't, because I'm no longer poopy.
No.
You made your wisdom save. You made your wisdom save.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and also it's an effect that she casts on herself, not on other people. The effect just goes to other people.
It's actually, I don't think it's even a concentration spell. It just lasts for 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And she can move her eye and target and do different things every round if she wants to.
Alright, cool.
So she starts to look around the room, and her seeing all that healing energy come out from the back of her windmill, her eye lands on you, Rimpak.
Right on. Bring it.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me, DC 15.
Lovely.
And nothing happens. You feel kind of you feel kind of that drowsiness begin to take hold, but it just doesn't pierce all the way through, and you've got this renewed vigor from your god pulsing through your veins right now, and you do not fall under the effects of her wicked black eye. Veen, you're up.
Okay. To attack me most recently, that one, so I have to attack that one. Cool. So I'll be attacking Lady Lightning Bolt
Okay.
with my glaive.
Yes, please kill Lady Lightning Bolt. Kill her dead.
Ignore the disadvantage.
So 10 is a miss.
It's just
Yeah,
a 10.
you kind of spin and swing your weapon at Lady Lightning Bolt, and it
And
just
then,
kind of
Refill.
she's kind of short, so it just kind of swings right over her head. She ducks at the last second as you turn around.
Since she is short, I will try a pole uppercut.
Nice. Yep.
Also sucks.
Yep.
So no one is under the effect of my spirit boots.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Nuru, you're up.
So
That's the
as-
first turn
so
I've failed to
Nuru-
do damage.
Is still laying on the ground, and would Bella be looking at Veen and not at Nuru, right?
Correct.
So Nuru is going to very quietly stand up behind her, or at least he's going to try to very quietly stand up
Okay.
behind her, and he's just going to stab his sword towards her. Like, he's going to try to stab his sword into her back.
Nice.
Nuru, are you a rogue?
Yeah.
Cool. That's for my notes. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Bella is kind of facing away from you, and you try to quietly stand up, but as you do, you hear this croak as you step on a toad, and as you stab out with your short sword, you feel this hand, without her even turning her head, stop and grab your wrist before your blade stabs into her back. And then she just lets you go, and she holds up her hand and goes and wags her finger.
Nuru.
Bit of inspiration.
Man, they're so
Maybe
cocky.
Inspiration to...
Yes. Cocky,
back
no
to
inspiration
hide-
now. It already happened.
Goes back to hide behind Rimpak.
Okay.
Why do you refuse to use inspiration?
I already
It's too
did.
late now. You described the thing, so it's too late.
It wasn't an inspiring circumstance.
No.
I didn't have inspiration anymore.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think
no, you didn't. My bad.
I think you spent it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Bella attempts to spin around and backhand you as she does, Nuru.
She's gonna use
I
her.
disengage.
Yeah, but she's up now, so it's her turn.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
an opportunity.
But and as she does so, you hold up your sword right in front of you to block her hand, and she cuts the back of her hand on your blade. So why don't you roll some damage?
Oh.
You can just click on your. Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
And Rimpak, you're
Minimum
up.
damage.
I haven't saved my fear fear spell from Ophelia. That's from last time. I should probably do that.
You're
Yeah.
still under the effects of the Phantasmal
No,
Killer.
Oh,
Yes,
wait.
I am.
Alright, is the current eye thing concentration or not? It's not, is it?
It's
No,
not.
it isn't.
No, it's not.
I checked it as well. It is not. It lasts for a minute.
So,
So 10 rounds.
she
Combat
has not.
hasn't even gone a minute.
She has not. She has not failed any of her her con checks from being hit. So you would still be under the effects of that. So make a Wisdom saving throw for me. I mean that's something that I should be remembering. So if you had spent your inspiration, take it back again. Because I would have just forgot that for the duration of the combat.
So you want me to do another roll for inspiration?
No, if you don't have an inspiration, take one.
I do have an inspiration.
Okay, then. Sorry,
Lose it?
sorry, pal. No, you don't. You don't lose it, but you can spend it on that save if you want, and then I'll give you one.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
spend it.
Okay.
Then roll another one.
Yeah, roll again.
All right. Oh my god.
I'll help.
So I'll
You're +6. You stupid thing.
I'll give you another inspiration for just being honest about that because I fucking totally forgot about it. You can't spend it twice in a row, so you do take 20 psychic damage.
Good thing I healed myself before everybody else before this happened. All right.
But it is your turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will attack the closest witch that I can attack. I would like to attack her with. I will attack her with my Morning Star.
Are you doing it twice?
Yes,
Cool.
absolutely. Let's do it. And I hit once.
16 is a miss.
Ooh, I hit none.
It is just a miss. Yeah. You
Is
know,
what it
you kind of swing your mace at her, and she bats her first strike away. You bring your mace up again and try and bring it down on her, and again she just kind of moves back a little and pushes your hand casually out of the way, and she says, she turns her head towards you and she says, "You are quite a feisty one. My sister was able to get in your pants. I think it's my turn next."
Saying
all of this,
That's why I'm missing, guys. Hopefully you all die, and it's just me and her. By the way.
Seeing all of this, I'm just going to say maybe you should try jumping off the stairs again.
I will say the name of this episode should be When Cougars Attack.
Oh, yep, you got it. That's what it is. Hemdriel, you're up. I won't make you do the because you would do that save at the end of your turn. I won't make you do it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
My
won't make you do it
apologies, Frankie, in advance for all that. But yeah, just I had to.
twice.
Good luck killing this. I gotta take the dog out real quick.
No worries. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
So Nice Snow is going to. Let's see what she's gonna do.
Push to talk.
He's thinking.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm mainly seeing if it's arranged or not. I should have been thinking about this more on.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, well, if that's the case, she's just gonna use Eldritch Blast again on the witch across the room.
Okay, sure. Ooh,
Yay!
nice.
You finally did something.
So with this, the light on her arm burns brighter. It's as if her fingers start disintegrating off her hand as she's casting this. Oh,
Ooh, nice.
oh, savage!
Oh,
That is a 22 force damage.
So I should have, oh, okay, it's force damage. Damage... Okay, so these, they don't have any vulnerabilities, but, why don't you just roll an extra, what's an Eldritch Blast, a D6?
10.
Oh,
I do have
Eldritch,
to point out, that's applying charisma twice for some reason.
Oh, is it?
Check that 8. It's a 4 plus
yeah,
charisma.
yeah. Let me check that.
It shouldn't apply it on the critical part of the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 18, not 22.
Pupper.
His dog.
Yeah,
His
I
old
don't.
dog.
I don't understand why it's rolling. It's adding the
Yeah,
plus
that's
4
weird.
to the critical damage. I'll double check on that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's all good.
It's so it's a 18.
Mhm.
It's an 18 force damage.
Um,
I'll double check all that.
but just roll an extra D10 as well.
I would just blame it on Roll20 updating their spells, and some of them went really weird.
Damn.
Morgantha's eye continues to scan around the room, and it lands on you, Nuru. And I need you to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw for me. And the world goes dark, and you crumple to the ground in a little cat heap and fall asleep.
Does he cat loaf?
What's that?
Does he loaf?
What
Does
is?
he go in loaf position?
Sure.
It's like,
Whatever
Yeah.
position.
Yes,
Yeah.
your arms and legs are tucked in.
I've never owned a cat because I'm
They're-
allergic, so I'm not familiar with cat terminology.
I am also
They
allergic, Ryan.
essentially lie on top of
I
their
have so
heads.
much in common with you folks. Same high school, allergic to cats.
Hey man,
Facial hair.
I'm very careful about who I invite to
Scorpion.
my games. I'm very careful about who I invite to my games. There's a reason you're here, my friend. Veen, you're up.
He has a particular set of skills at finding particular people.
Look at Neeson over here.
Yet again,
Like it.
I'm forced to attack lightning, bitch.
Okay.
I will reckless attack for advantage, though.
Sure.
Gonna be.
Now that I think about it, the child upstairs, I wouldn't be surprised if Liam Neeson kicks in the door, like from Taken. Just like, I don't know who you are or where you are, but I will find you and I will kill you.
24 is a
just-
hit.
14 damage, and then pulse smack.
Liam Neeson just finds people randomly. He's in there. I found you.
I wonder. Whoa, whoa.
That's not normal.
Whoa.
Either way, it was 9 damage, so you don't have to scroll up.
I saw it.
Error, 9 damage.
23 total. And then the
and my spirit boots
whatever
are on
version
lightning, bitch.
whatever version of the multiverse that this game is taking place in just disintegrates, and none of us no longer exists.
Drew, did you just upload like a cat virus?
The cat walked across the keyboard a couple dozen times. And that's
Suddenly we see the animation going across the screen of a cat just pawing at the screen, and then just like
Wow, that is
absolutely.
a lot of
Yeah, by
code.
My spirit bros are on lightning ditch now.
Okay.
Okay, I found
Get him,
the
Veen. Get him.
I'm
And
sorry.
hit enter right away. Check.
Morgantha
I
says,
checked the time.
Morgantha says, get out of here. I don't want to have to birth 2 new ones. And, Nuru, you're up.
Naru's asleep.
Wake up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Make a perception check for me. It'll be a higher DC than a normal sleep.
That's beautiful eyes in that cat.
So you, just like at the edge of your unconsciousness, you hear this raspy, crackling voice shouting out at her daughter, and it jostles you from your sleep, and you may just take your turn as normal.
Right on.
So, what's going on with Bella?
She just got mighty fucked up by your husband.
Naru will
So-
fuck her up some more.
Bella's the weakest.
Naru will cat jump up with his cat-like agility.
Uh-huh.
He will stand
I
up
think you've
normally.
spent. I think you've spent 3 of your 9 lives in this combat, but.
Naru going from cat loaf does the butt wiggle and then just lunges.
I like this.
He does a butt wiggle and he will lunge
Sure.
with his sword out.
Lunge with advantage. 19 is a hit.
Alright, 19 was advantage. And sneak attack.
How do you kill the second sister?
Is she facing Veen right now?
She had spun around to try to backhand you. That was her last turn. So she's actually still looking down at your body, I believe.
He will reach up and try to cut off her head.
Okay. And you do so. You wiggle your butt, leap up, and with one swift motion, you bring your blade up and around and slice straight through her neck. And there, that thing happens where it kind of like sits there momentarily, and like a fake wax-looking head topples off, you know, and blood like begins to bubble and pour off of the ends of where the head's now missing, and then she just like crumples down, onto the floor, dead. Yes.
Love it.
I said hi.
I like that we're doing all the damage, but because you're getting the killing blows, you're getting the wrath.
So I'm just gonna. I'll be like 10 seconds. Be right back.
Yep.
Naru just wakes up and kills someone.
Was Ryan not wearing pants?
I don't think so.
I think he usually wears shorts, so who knows? Just ask him when he gets back. It's on stream.
Right?
Yeah. We're gonna have to review this episode to confirm this. Hashtag Ryan wears no pants.
Dude. Wait, hey, Myth. So you're from Philadelphia, yeah?
Yeah.
You follow football.
I'm actually not a very big sports person at all.
Dude, you just won the Super Bowl. What?
I know, right? It's
With the
it's
backup quarterback with the Philly special? That was one of the best Super Bowls ever. You beat the Patriots. Fuck the
Wait,
Patriots.
when was the Super Bowl?
It was in January.
Oh,
Well, sorry, February, actually. Technically, I guess it was in February, early February.
I sort of have a thing about taking other people's accomplishments and feeling good off them.
I'll tell you what. I'm a Packers fan, and every time the Packers
Yeah.
win a game, I win a game.
yes.
I know it's
You're
like,
a Packers fan, Freddie? Because if you were a Lions fan, we would have our first rift in our relationship.
it's
Ryan,
it,
we have an
it-
important
Freddie's
question
great.
that is about
Freddie's
baseball.
great.
Are you wearing pants?
Freddie, I love you.
I fucking hate.
Dude, you're
okay.
great.
He is
Wear
okay.
shorts. We're fine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, my shorts. You wasn't wearing shorts earlier. Those aren't what you were in earlier. You were in brief. Sorry.
Sports, but the two teams I will support till my dying days are the Packers and the Red Wings.
Yes.
But
Hell yes.
Let's not start the sports fans.
I'm just saying. Frankie's amazing.
We don't need more controversy
Dude's
in this
awesome.
game currently.
Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl this year, by the way, because that's just what's going to happen.
We call him Big Boy around here, actually.
Big Boy,
You can call me Frank.
Yeah.
go Paco. That's all I'm saying.
It's sort of funny that even though Nuru is called Big Boy, the hags have not called Nuru Big Boy yet.
Rimpak, you're up.
All right. So
That's
only
really
Ophelia's
fair.
left. I can't attack Ophelia because then I'm scared of her, right?
Ophelia
No.
is dead. Only the
Whoa,
mother
whoa.
is still alive.
I thought Ophelia was the mother.
Morgantha
No.
is the mother,
No.
yes.
Okay, so Morgantha is who I'm
Just
afraid
the
of,
mother
right?
left. Yeah.
She's still the one that has her eye going and who has her spell on you as well still, yes.
All right, so I should.
So you can't move closer.
At the end, you can't move towards her, but you can still attack or do things to her with disadvantage. And at the end of the turn, you'll have to make a wisdom save unless she fails her concentration for some reason.
All right, hold on.
And I will give you an icon, so...
I'm going to cast Aid on everybody but me.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, because I go only cast on 3 people.
Is that the
so-
5 hit points or the +4?
It's this.
Hit point
Everybody's
maximum and current hit point increased by 5 for the duration.
That's right.
I have
That's
never
right.
seen that spell cast in a game.
Yeah.
I chose it specifically because I wanted to be all like heal. Like,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I
So-
like that you say you haven't seen it cast. It was cast in my Friday game.
It
Well,
was.
we all know what happened on Friday.
Friday.
We all know.
We get all
It
drinking
shall
ice
not
wine.
be spoken. But yeah, describe how your aid is cast.
All right, I will. I raise my left hand, and again I grab my my holy symbol. And I simply like slowly raise it. As I'm raising it, the light in my hand glows brighter until it reaches the top, and then the spell hits. No words.
Nice.
Well, mumbling words to myself. But you guys don't hear.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. Absolutely. I might make this one because it's my best stat.
And you
Ooh.
do.
Yeah.
So you are
Finally.
no longer affected by whatever the fuck that spell was called. Phantasmal Killer.
Yeah, I hate that spell. Screw that spell.
Hemdriel.
So Hemdriel sees that the other hags are disposed of, and then looks over to the mother hag, and then she grabs her neck. And Rimpak, you actually haven't noticed this since you met her because of all the craziness, but she
Yeah.
actually has a metal band around her neck. And she grabs at it, and then as she pulls it off, a light ring pulls through her neck, and then she aims it at the mother, and as she does, the same, like a glowing ring latches around the hag's neck.
Well, okay. Rimpak is visually. It's kind of like, what the fuck?
And for you as a player, it's Bane, isn't it? The actual
I'm just-
spell?
It's Hex, I believe, right?
It's
Yeah.
Hex.
It's flavored heck.
I like it.
So just so
Okay.
you know.
It's cool.
But the disadvantage for checks will be dexterity checks.
Okay.
I suppose a hag would have very good dexterity, but we'll see.
Morgantha's black eye moves between each of you in turn, and as it's doing so, she says, "Well, I'm not as foolish or as lusty as my daughters, and I intend to continue my work. But you've made a great enemy this day. As soon as I birth more daughters,
Can't let her get away.
you will be sure that I will return in your dreams.
Can't ride
and
either way.
Morgantha vanishes.
Damn it.
As soon as Morgantha is gone, Nuru will rush over to Veen. He will just like place a hand sort of on his chest to see if he's all right. And upon seeing that he is, he's gonna run upstairs.
Okay.
To the
As
church.
you do that, my spirit bros like kind of merge back into me.
Nice Snow, seeing that she disappeared, is actually still on edge and is trying to perceive her environment. She's like trying to hear, smell, like she's looking around actively for whatever's off in this area.
Rimpak is the same. I actually raise my shield and I back up towards Nice Nose back, essentially with the same notion that this is all a ruse, that she's around here somewhere. I don't believe she's gone. And I totally get Nice Nose vibe that this is weird. I'm very much on edge, so.
Well, while they do that, I'm going to drag the two corpses outside, throw them towards Ismark, and say, "Burn these."
Well, what you actually
come back
see,
inside.
what you actually see is as your divine halo kind of appears over Morgantha, and she looks between all of you with her dark eye, and she says that she will be back for her revenge after she births more daughters. You see her form begin to kind of fade away, and Nice Snow, as you are looking at her form disappear, you actually can. There's this brief moment where you can see the space between two places, and you almost see this like shadowed or ethereal version of the world that you're currently standing in. And she disappears, and then the halo around her head kind of winks out as she disappears. And I think maybe for Nice Snow at least, you might know that she has moved into the ethereal plane.
I'm still gonna be on edge. I don't believe in that stuff yet.
Nuru, you begin to bolt for the top of the windmill where you've heard the cries of, or whimpers of the children, correct?
Yes.
So you make your way to the second floor. You see the grinder level of the windmill, and then you make your way up to another level, to the third level, and you see dancing, or not dancing. You see another circular room, and there's like a rotting wooden closet up there, with three crates, essentially, almost like dog cages, stacked on top of each other, with small doors set into them. Next to the closet is a heap of discarded clothing, all child-sized, and a ladder that climbs up into a wooden trapdoor in the 9-foot-high ceiling. There's a little moldy bed with a tattered canopy that stands nearby, and in two of the cages are two children, a boy and a girl. And also on the floor at the foot of the bed is a sack with that's kind of writhing and moving. And you hear another small child voice saying, "Let me out!"
Naru's gonna go to Nuru. He's gonna quickly mention to the two other children, "Don't worry, I'll free you." And he's going to rush towards the sack, and just using his claws, he's going to like tear the sack open, being careful where he's placing his claws, as so not to harm the child.
So you see kind of a little boy appear as you undo the sack and draw the tied strings and move the sack down. There's looks like maybe a 5 or 6-year-old child, kind of a young boy with shaggy red hair. His face is like speckled with dark brown freckles. Most of his clothing looks pretty drab, but he has a pair of like bright red rain boots on.
Nuru will back up a little bit, and then he's going to look to the boy and say very softly, I'm not going to hurt you. My friends and I are here to save you.
He reaches into his pocket. He fumbles and reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out a little pocket knife, and he flicks out the blade, and he says, "You're lying. You're with them."
Nuru will put his paws up, his claws are retracted, and to show that he does not have any weapons in his hands. And he's like, "No, I'm not. I won't hurt you. We killed 2 of the women. You're safe."
His hand kind of falters a little bit, and he lowers the blade a little, and he says, "That old witch traded me for a pair of pastries to my parents, and she brought me here."
Well, she won't be trading you.
Who are you?
My name is Nuru. I'm a traveler.
Traveler? He kind of looks at you very seriously, and he closes his knife blade, and he says, "I've seen other travelers like you before."
Well, did they have fur like me?
Well, not exactly like you, but people that aren't from here. I know they come sometimes.
And I promise, but I promise I won't hurt you. I just want to help.
Is that witch really dead?
The mother left, but the daughter.
He lets out like a heavy sigh, like there's way more weight of the world on this 5-year-old boy's shoulders than there ever should have been. And he says, "Well, I know that soon she'll be back to her old tricks." And he flicks out his blade again, and he says, "I know I'll be the one to kill her."
I'm sure you will be. But right now, I need to help you. I need you to help me with something very important.
Then you hear a little girl's voice from the closet say, "What am I, chopped liver?"
We need to help the other kids out. Do you think? You need to help me.
He kind of clambers out of the sack and puts his knife back in his pocket, and he looks through the closet, and he says, it's kind of like rotted out, and you can see the kids in the cages, and he goes, "Wait, that's Myrtle, and that there's Freak. I know them."
Freak?
Yeah, that's Freak. And you can see the boy on the lower part of the cage. He's kind of like slumped, and his eyes look dead, and he doesn't really seem to know where he even is or what's going on. Like, he's not even really reacting. But the little girl's eyes are like a glassy, bright blue color, and she's got this frilly little pink dress on. And even though it looks dirty and ragged, but she's got her hair kind of tied up in 2 pigtails behind her head, and she says, she like shakes the cage, and she says, "You just gonna stand there all day, or are you gonna let us out of here?"
Well, I have been doing a lot of standing here today, but I want to get you out. And Nuru will rush over to the cage, and he's going to take out his thieves' tools, specifically the lock picks, and he's going to start trying to pick the lock.
Sure. Rimpak, we couldn't hear what you were saying there.
Yeah, I was muted. I'm sorry. That spell that came up, I don't actually have that spell known for this adventure. It's just on my list. I accidentally clicked it instead of clicking the gear to see what the effect was. I was wondering, could I be upstairs when this is happening?
Sure.
Could I have made my way up by this?
Yeah, you could have followed behind. When you come up the 2 levels of stairs, you see the little boy, kind of pointing his knife at Nuru, and you hear the end of the conversation, and then you see Nuru walk over and begin to try to fiddle with the locks on the 2 cages.
I like to approach Sackboy I'll get on one knee and I'll ask him, like, what's your name?
I'm Niles.
I say, Niles, you're safe now. Okay? No matter what happens, it's going to be me before you. I am your shield.
And then you hear a fucking damn it. As Naru's thieves' tools actually snap.
I'll tell him that's enough. Never say the F word, sir. All right, we'll get you back home. Okay.
I have two questions.
I
as
also
well.
want to ask him: Has you ever heard about your Lord and Savior Tyr?
I've heard of the Morning Lord.
Well, you have a lot to learn about. I want to try to convert him to worship Tyr.
Well,
So-
I haven't. Who's Tyr?
Tyr is a god of justice. We seek out and destroy evil. You hate evil, right, Niles?
Niles' hands like idly goes back into his pocket, and he gets this very serious look at his face, and he says, "I do hate evil."
Well then, Niles, I think you met the right guy.
Now pan down real quick. Underneath of him, Nice Snow is actually hearing all this, and Veen, you actually notice that she gets angry when she hears it. She just like her face furrows, and she just looks pissed off.
About Tyr?
And she's just looking down at the floor. Only Veen sees this because he's the only one down here with Nice Snow.
What were your questions there, Veen?
I actually have three now. What race are the children?
They are all human.
As in, like, because you know how like the Vistani look different.
They
to
are all
the,
Barovian.
Alright, cool. Two, is Sackboy an idiot? So he had a knife and he was trapped in a sack and didn't think to cut himself out.
Sackboy's an idiot, but he's going to be an acolyte of Tyr, so he's going to redeem himself.
He's
I
gonna be.
know that is not your end whatsoever. I just find it funny.
He's gonna be a low. He's gonna be the low intelligence rogue of Tyr.
It's actually not a knife; it's a spoon.
I think that the spoon is the full.
The knife blade is more like it's more like the it's almost like a Swiss Army knife.
It's a
Like
butter knife.
essentially it's like a piece of wood, and it's had like the end of a spoon essentially like drilled in, like screwed into the top, so it's like dull. It couldn't stab or cut through anything.
He made a shiv.
The
And then
DM is an idiot.
Cool. The third question is
If that made the DM an idiot, I'm far beyond that.
Yeah.
the third question is, so my fortune was to do with the mill. I can't remember if this was where a weapon was meant to be hidden. Would you be able to look up the exact
What?
fortune for me?
I have it right here. I was prepared for this.
Make an intelligence check. Nice know.
Well, I remember.
Oh, okay. I was gonna.
No, Veen, you don't know nothing. You have to roll for everything. In real life, just carry a couple D20s in your pocket, you'll be fine.
I do that sometimes, but I always lose them.
Yeah, get fucked. I know exactly what it is.
I know. I've tried it as well. It doesn't work out.
So yeah, if that was the card you had drawn,
That was my specific one, yeah.
This card is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. I see a lonely mill on a precipice. The treasure lies within.
This is a lonely
So
mill.
I'm not sharing that
Hemdriel
information necessarily.
angrily whispers into your ear.
No, I got the intelligence. I remember.
I got you. I got
I
you.
just
I
wasn't
got
sure
you.
if this was the weapon or one of the other
So
ones.
so here's the funny thing. She
got you.
whispers that, but she's actually thinking about Rimpak, and she's just like grumbling now.
Hey,
So yeah,
Hey.
I'm going to look around. And
Here's
see
the
if
only
there's any
way.
hidden compartments on the lower floor.
You don't know any of this.
I don't.
Niles does seem quite enamored by you, though, Rimpak.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I want to lean to analysis and listen. Watch this, and I want to cast detect magic.
So you feel a powerful magical presence above you, up the ladder in the loft.
I will follow the beacon up the ladder.
Okay. So you follow, you climb up the ladder and you open the trapdoor in the roof of the windmill.
Like a boss, by the way. I just boom.
Sure, absolutely. Do you like
Very
turn back
impressive.
and look down and like gesture for Niles to follow?
I will like Niles to follow.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, he climbs up right behind you then if you ask him to follow. You've reached the windmill's peak, a domed chamber filled with old machinery. There's not much room to move around, but light slips into this attic through small holes in the walls. And there's like a bunch of old hay. There's actually a couple of little bird nests as well, little old bird nests, and you follow the pull of the magical presence, and what you find in a pile of underneath a nest in a pile of hay is the hilt and handle of a blade. There's no blade, but it's just a hilt and handle.
I would like to make motion as we're moving through by the nests to make Niles. Don't disturb the nests. Move around them. Be respectful of the life and the nature. And I'll pull the hilt out. When I sense it, I reach for it and I just pull it out. That is in my hand.
Yeah, you pick up. It's like a longsword handle essentially, and it's got this kind of half moon shaped hilt, and at the pommel, there's kind of this fanned, almost half sun symbol.
I have no need for swords. You know who likes swords, Niles? Barbarians like swords. You know any barbarians, Niles?
He says, well, I know wild men live in the woods.
I know a guy living in the woods. I think his name is Veen. He might be down the ladder. What do you think?
The saddest thing is you have no idea how wrong you are.
Niles is like, I'd like to meet a wild man, I guess.
Well, barbarians are all wild men. That's how I feel about them. I think I know one. Let's go back down the ladder.
Wait,
Let's
Does Nuru hear any?
Yeah, for sure. He's just right above you.
Naru's gonna say, Veen, Naru's gonna get.
So just like FYI, Hemdriel and Veen, you guys are like on the bottom floor of this windmill.
I'm like tearing everything apart, looking for this apparent weapon.
Nuru and Rimpak, you guys are at the top. There's a level between like the just normal speaking voices would be fairly muffled, so it's not like you're all in the same space necessarily. Nuru, you would be able to hear Rimpak, but like you guys below probably wouldn't be able to hear them up on the top floor.
Yeah, Nice No can't hear.
Especially because I'm like breaking pots and just smashing everything, looking for stuff.
Nice No is just.
I want to give the hilt to Niles, and I say, go downstairs with that. Show it to the big guy.
As you hand the blade to Niles, he kind of takes. You hand the hilt to Niles. He takes it in one hand, and it's like very heavy. So it's like for him it's heavy. So he kind of like, and then he puts his other hand around it, and as he does so, a single sliver of golden light shoots out from the hilt of the blade.
Oh, that's
impales
neat.
himself.
Neat. Okay.
And you've found the sun blade.
Naru's.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want that Veen.
lightsaber.
You're
That's
gonna
cool
want that
shit.
Veen. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you also have no idea.
He's really not. He's really not going to want that blade. It was his fortune that you guys were meant to Niles kind of as the beam of light that's bright as day shoots out from the blade, it like frightens Niles, and he lets the
I
hilt
reach
go.
out and
It
I
clatters
and
to
I
the floor, and the light of the blade disappears, and it just becomes a normal metal hilt again.
all right. If I could have when the light appeared, can I roll for be able to like hold his hands around it to try to calm him
Sure.
before he drops it?
Sure.
All right. What should I roll for that?
I would say make a just make a perception check.
Perception check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see like it starts as this soft warm glow, and then this blade of golden light shoots out, and like you see the fear in his eyes that like surprises him, and he's about to just toss it out. But you kneel down very quickly and you clasp his hands around the hilt of the sword.
All right. And I'm going to say to Niles, I'm like, Niles, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This hilt, okay, is special, and it only reacts to boys and women who are also special. It just means you're special, okay? It knows you are good in your heart. That's why this blade acted like it did, okay? It's meant for a great warrior. We must find the warrior this blade is meant for. What do you think, Niles? Should we find the warrior this blade is meant for?
I think that this blade was meant to give justice.
Justice is what we do, isn't it, Niles?
Is this...
Loss?
Does this mean that this sword is mine now?
Can you wield it? Niles, are you willing to fight with it?
Do you let his hands go?
I will.
He spins around with the blade, and the bed in the corner of the room gets sliced in half.
I like this.
Crumples down, and he says, "I can fight."
Now, will you fight by my side, Niles?
Who's going to intervene at this point?
As soon as you move, Niles spins towards you with the blade in both his hands.
All right, I want to see if I can reach forward and grab Niles' hands again.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Do I do that, or do I have to roll for it?
He's 5.
Okay, so I say, Niles, your fighting spirit is pure and strong, but you must release the hilt of this sword. You may not quite be old enough to wield such a blade. Niles, I need you to release. This sword is meant for somebody who's willing to kill.
I'll kill that witch.
I'm gonna back him like, will you kill me? And I release.
Well, no.
Then Niles, put the sword down.
Make a persuasion check.
Well, that's performance, sorry. Do it, just take the performance check.
He says, "I can fight."
Niles, you will fight, but blades aren't what priests of Tyr use. We use blunt weapons. This blade is meant for a knight or a barbarian of some sort. You need to learn how to use this. And I pull out my mace and I hand him the hilt.
So, if I give you this one, I can have yours?
Absolutely.
You won't take it back?
No, it is yours. It is meant to be yours. You are too brave to have any other weapon.
He drops the hilt, the golden light of the blade disappears as it clatters to the floor, and he grabs your mace and he says, "I want to be a knight of Tyr."
Then you shall be. It'll take some years of training and learning, but you will definitely be a Knight of Tyr.
Will you teach me?
What's good? I will.
I don't want to go back to my parents.
Nuru
Then you'll
is
come with
going
me.
to pipe up and say, just remember, you don't have to do what other... There are more choices than just one. You can look to all of us for guidance if you ever want. Not just one person.
He's going to be faithful to Tyr. Nuru. He loves his Lord and Savior.
He kind of
Okay.
he kind of straightens himself out and stands up tall, and he says, "All I've ever known is the Morning Lord, but the skies here have been dark since as long as I've known. I've never heard of Tyr, but he sounds much better than the Morning Lord." And he whacks like a broken part of the bed leg that's been slashed in half with the mace, and he says, and he looks up at you, Rimpak, and he says, "Tyr is more important than the Morning Lord, and I
Yes.
think we should tell more people about him."
I
We
think
shall.
at this point, Nice Snow would walk upstairs after pouting downstairs for a while. Did you put her on the second?
I'm still smashing.
You see like a oh yeah, I mean I can put your guys' tokens up here. It's like even more confined than the bottom of the windmill. Like your token really doesn't need to be up there to see what's going on. Yeah.
I'll pick up the hilt and I'm gonna hand it to Nice Snow, and I'm like, that's your problem now. I got another problem. I have a mentor now. I have a child.
Nuru?
As you come up the stairs, and Hemdriel, the little redheaded kid, looks up to you and he says, "Have you heard of Tyr?"
That's
She-
my boy.
She gives the most like pissed off face, like resting bitch face goes into just full on what have you done face. As she
Rimpak
looks
is confused by that.
as she looks up to Rimpak, you just see her silver eyes turn like black as she thaumaturgies instinctively.
Naru's going to try to intervene and try to push her back downstairs and say, bring this to Veen.
Also, I have to point out, you went to a child, told him that the Morning Lord is bullshit, you should believe in Tyr. Here, look at this weapon that is a weapon of the Morning Lord. Fuck the Morning Lord, Tyr's great.
I'm sorry, but that's a pretty easy way to win kids. You give them a sword. I mean,
Kid's
come
fine.
on.
The kid's fine.
This child's intelligence is one.
He's a 5-year-old. He's a 5-year-old.
You just gave him a little lightsaber. He's going pew pew. This is awesome.
As a father of
Naru's
a
going to watch
5-year-old, that is
Nice Snow.
exactly how easy it is.
So
Totally
Naru's going to watch
fine.
Nice Snow and put his hands on her shoulders and say, there are children here who are frightened and in need of care. This is not the time.
Some still in the cage.
Yeah.
It's always the time to turn children to Tyr.
Myrtle, the girl, she says, "This is all great, but still nobody's let me out, and I'm kind of getting bored.
Goddamn
Have you heard
Morning
about
Lord.
Tyr, Myrtle? And I shake her cage.
You
The
shake,
room
you
will-
shake her cage?
Well, no, I was kidding.
Okay.
But by the way, I still have to detect magic going. Do I detect any other magic?
Yeah, he
You
did
do.
detect
You
that.
you do actually. You feel more magic coming down from the first level,
Okay.
from the flower painted cupboards actually.
Have I smashed them yet?
It might be that you have.
The whole time I've been smashing.
So, actually, the biggest thing to smash in the room was the big cauldron of black demon ichor in the center. That would have
I wouldn't
probably...
smash that because that sounds idiotic.
Okay.
But I would have been searching and smashing
Then
through
the
everything.
brightly painted flower cupboards would probably be the next most satisfying thing to smash in the room.
So probably would have done that while they're having all their
Yep.
discussions about stupid gods.
You still feel the magical.
gods.
You still feel the magical sense,
Sir, you forgot yourself.
You still feel the magical.
No, I didn't.
You still feel the magical sense from upstairs, and if and when you do come down, there are puddles of liquid on the floor, seeping out into the wooden floorboards that are glowing magically at you.
Alright. By the way, like he's going to make his way over to the cage with the girl in it, but before he makes it, he's going to lean into Rimpak's like personal space, and he's going to whisper, "My husband had a family and a home. Do not make assumptions so late."
Also, your detect magic would trigger on Veen.
Oh yeah, the Veen's weapon would sense as magical to you. Also
And
also the collar around Hemdriel's neck would sense as magical to you. And Nuru, what would sense magical on you?
His
Penis.
Second sword.
Yeah, he has 2 short swords.
Okay.
One.
So I also immediately also feel closer to my my new band now, knowing a little more of the intimacy about them. But they also notice that I'm also a bit of a religious nut for my Lord Tyr.
As any cleric
Doesn't try to convert these children
yeah.
as they should be. As they should be. But also, hopefully, that they also see that I'm also willing to sacrifice myself for others, as would a cleric should do.
Sure. So, you have
During
said,
my smashing, did I find anything of interest?
You smashed everything with interest, Veen.
There's a baker's dozen more pastries in the oven that are now kind of half burned. You have 3 new children in tow, and as you are all kind of congregating back down in the lower levels, Ismark peeks in his head and he says, well, that was interesting, but if you're all done now, can we continue on to Vallaki? And that is where we will end our session this week.
Can we please do them trying to give me the blade bit?
Oh, sure.
Does Veen give the blade to Nuru?
Yeah.
I tossed it to Nice though. Nice no. He's like, "Here you go."
Nice Nose holding it very gingerly in her hand beside her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Nice Nose gonna be like, and she's, "Can you use this?"
As you touch the weapon, Nice No, Hemdriel, you have a flash of memory. Much later on, the sky is now dark again in Strahd's realm in the Valley of Barovia, and you are at the gates of Strahd's keep. Strahd and his 3 vampire wives are sauntering towards you, and you are rushing at them alone with this sword in your hand. Its blade blazing with the light of day. You duck and spin and cut the legs off of one of Strahd's brides. You turn and twist and split another one in 2. The third comes down at you with both of her claws, and you grab her wrist just before she reaches you, and you drive the blade of right through her throat. You pull it out, and before you even realize what's happening, Strahd is behind you and has both of his hands gripped around your throat. You cannot breathe, and you snap out of it. You come back. And you look down at the hilt in your hand, and we can't hear you.
So during that process, her eyes glazed over with white light, and then as she snaps back to it, her eyes go back to normal, and she's holding the blade.
Is it activated?
It does.
Damn.
It activates it. Once the flash is over, the blade the light again bursts forth from the hilt of the sword. There's a little gap between the light of the sword and the hilt, and it's just pulsing with this fiery daylight in your hand.
And after that, she wonders to herself whether this is hers, but also the memory feels unpleasant, so she tosses it towards Nuru.
Nuru catches it. Or I imagine he catches it.
Sure.
And you can see Nice Snow breathing heavily as she's like disturbed by something.
Yep. The hilt kind of spins. The blade, the glowing blade of light doesn't dissipate, and it kind of spins in the air, and you catch the hilt, and it's still glowing. Somebody take the fucking sword.
Nuru.
The most sincere DM. Just take it already.
I've never seen a group of adventurers so adverse to a +2 fucking magical weapon of light.
I know, right? I know.
Which I love. Like, it's fucking amazing. What's that, Nuru?
Yeah.
Alright, so like Nuru already has a feeling that Veen would not take it, so he just keeps it.
Okay.
Like I just imagine Nuru catching it and it disappearing.
Yeah,
what sword?
Essentially,
That disappears. What are you talking about?
yeah, essentially, like this pulsating blade of light. You see Nuru catch it, and with just a quick flick of the wrist, like the light is gone and the hilt has disappeared from sight. Yeah.
Well, so
Nice.
Ryan, you know why I don't want it, right?
Yeah, because we've got like
There's
two.
multiple reasons.
You have like 2 feats that involve a 10-foot weapon. Like, yeah, it's not. There's no way you would ever take this weapon.
And my magical weapon would like fuck me if I used it. And it's a religious weapon.
No, but you know, it's the card you drew. It doesn't mean it's the thing you have to use.
Hey, Veen, have you heard about your Lord and Savior Veer yet?
I would punch you in the face.
Can we
Let me tell you about how great Tyr is.
At this point, Nuru not only has Strahd's blade, but the Morning Lord's blade too.
Oh no! Please, whatever you do, don't put them both together. It will end the universe. It'll just be like poof, and Curse of Strahd is over.
And with Ismark peeking his head into Old Bone Grinder, urging the rest of you to hurry along because he's hoping to get his sister Tabaxi soon. It's just around the bend. That is where we'll end session 7 of Curse of Strahd.
That was fantastic.
I will also say, just as a
I'll shut the recording and stream down.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's watching now or who did watch or who might watch on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate the views. And I hope to see you next time for more Curse of Strahd. I also stream on Saturday mornings and every Thursday here with these group of adventurers for Curse of Strahd. So farewell, and we will hope to see you next time.